Hey folks, want to come on here and shoot a quick solo episode. This one is going to be around the topic of mindset. For those of you who don't know, we have moved categories on Spotify overnight. We've gone from self-help to business, which I talked about a number of shows ago. Talked about making the pivot. So you can go and search the Ryan Connon podcast and it'll come up there. We'll also be moving on to Apple in the next few weeks, which is super exciting. I used to be a big consumer over there and then moved onto this platform and now a creator. So wait and see how things go. Yeah, I thought it makes sense based on my educational background, studying in TU Dublin and getting in business and management, getting a first class honours, gold medal, and then moving into Trinity Business School, which I think is the top in the country. I know it's triple accredited. There's 4 triple accredited business schools in Ireland. In the Republic of Ireland, I'm not sure about up north yet. I have to double check that. A globally renowned triple accredited business school delivering ultra modern educational experiences and innovative research. It says from the heart of Ireland's, I'm assuming, double check that. Trinity Business School is one of the 24 academic schools of Trinity College Dublin, located in Ireland, located on Pearse Street. The business school is triple accredited, a distinction held by under 1% of business schools worldwide. It offers programs at undergraduate, postgraduate, MBA, and executive level education. And if you haven't tuned in before, I studied digital marketing strategy there, graduated in 2020 with a distinction. And there was another, I think, award there, not a thing, but I know it was the Irish government digital project award, but it was a team of us, so it wasn't a solo effort. It was a team, which is great. And then moving on to Google and working there for a year and 1 month, which is the average tenure. So it just makes sense based on my experience to move into the business side of things. And then over the last 4 years, exploring digital entrepreneurship in a bit more detail, which I studied in TU Dublin, or did my thesis on, which I talked about in the show already. It was about digital entrepreneurship in emerging economies, a case study of Kenya. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the housekeeping done. Anything else? Also, we got into AI and trends in the future. And yeah, super excited to share what I've learned over the last definitely 4 years on a break for health and well-being in a business context. And also super, super interesting things that I've learned over the last 12 years since leaving school that I want to share, especially around mindset. I think it's super important. Super interesting. Yeah, so anyway, we'll get into it. Today is about a book called The Obstacle is the Way, The Ancient Art of Turning Adversity to Advantage. Ryan Holiday, by Ryan Holiday, excuse me, the author. A book for the bedside of every future and current leader in the world. Robert Greene, author of the 48 Laws of Power and Mastery. Follow these precepts and you'll revolutionize your life. Stephen Pressfield, author of The War of Art. The great men and women of this world didn't have exceptional luck, talent, or experience. All they had was a single maxim: what stands in the way becomes the way. In The Obstacle is the Way, internationally renowned marketing guru and best-selling author Ryan Holiday reframes this forgotten formula for success in today's world, and it reveals how John D. Rockefeller saw opportunity in adversity and got rich in a recession. Gandhi played to his weaknesses and turned the British Empire's military might against it. Steve Jobs made the impossible possible on a routine basis. Manage your perceptions, recognize when you can change things, direct your actions, and learn to turn every obstacle to your advantage. An absolute must read. Learn to tear through any obstacle and resolve any conflict. Jimmy Sonny, former managing editor, Huffington Post, and author of Rome's Last Citizen. Fascinating stuff. So we'll get into it a bit today. We'll talk about it a bit. And yeah, if you have any feedback or suggestions for the business category, feel free to reach out via Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, X, or via email. It's Ryan, or Ryanw, Conlan, CONLAN, @gmail.com. If you have any guest suggestions as well, or if you'd like to come onto the show, super interested to talk about people from all different walks of life, especially in the context of business. The Obstacle is the Way, Ryan Holiday, Key Ideas and Practical Takeaways. At its core, the book is about Stoic philosophy applied to modern life. What blocks the path becomes the path. Holiday breaks this into a simple formula or simple framework. Number one, perception. See things as they are. Your biggest power is how you interpret events. Separate facts from judgments, remove emotional exaggeration, reframe obstacles as neutral or even useful. Practice what's actually happening and what am I adding to it. Number two, action. What you can where you are. Do what you can where you are. Obstacles demand forward motion, not frustration. I must get a snack soon. Focus on what's within your control. Take disciplined, persistent action. Use constraints to sharpen creativity. Practice. Break the obstacle into the smallest actionable step and do it immediately. Will. Number three, endure and adapt. Some obstacles can't be moved, only borne, which is to, presuming endure, that means, just double check. The past participle of bear, carried or transported by this thing specifically. So yeah, interesting. That's on Oxford Languages. Accept what you cannot change. Turn adversity into strength and character. Maintain inner calm under pressure. Practice it. Say, this is outside my control. How can I respond with excellence? Which we mentioned about some key principles on excellence. If you go back to 37, the pursuit of excellence, key principles. And if you want to start where I think we started on mindset, I don't mean to go back to the episodes, but just like to refer to it here briefly. Number 20, grit, is where we first started talking about it. Some interviews you mentioned as well. And yeah, but really get into it with Dr. Carol S. Dweck's work. Number 35, unlocking your potential, the power of mindset. 36, the power of resilience, adapting to life's challenges. 37, the pursuit of excellence, key principles. And then unlocking the power of thinking big. Number 38. And number 39, how helping others feel success. And then mastering your career. So this is super interesting going from here. So practice, just to reiterate, say, this is outside my control. How can I respond to excellence? Core Stoic principles behind the book. Amor fati, love your faith. Dichotomy of control, control your actions, not outcomes. Fate, F-A-T-E. So around the Stoic principles. Memento mori, remember life is finite, act with urgency. So one sentence summary, every obstacle contains the raw material for growth, progress, and advantage if you choose the right mindset. So yeah, just to delve into this real quick, I think the Patriots read this book, I don't want to say but when they went to the Super Bowl, it was something along those lines. It was mandatory reading. Just double check that. We're 8 minutes in, so plenty of time. The Patriot Way. Yes, The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday has been widely read and used in the NFL, which for those of you outside America is the National Football League, American football, especially among coaches, executives, and some players as part of mental preparation and team culture. NFL figures and teams known to have read or used the book. Here is some specific examples. Coaches and executives. Bill Belichick, head coach, New England Patriots. He's not there anymore. I think he's moved on to a different team in college football. I think he's in, let me just double check. I know this. The University of North Carolina, UNC, Tar Heels football team. So, as of December 2025, let's get back into this. Yeah, Bill Belichick, head coach, New England Patriots, his staff and players were given copies during their Super Bowl winning season to reinforce resilience approach to challenges. Michael Lombardi, NFL executive, helped distribute the book among Patriots personnel. Pete Carroll, head coach, Seattle Seahawks, embraced the Stoic principles and team culture. By the way, both of these franchises and teams won Super Bowls, so just to reiterate that point. John... Let me just how to pronounce the second name. I don't know. Pronunciation again, interesting. For a thing, maybe just the time I'm shooting these podcasts, I need to eat around the podcast a bit more pronunciation. John Schneider. John Schneider, GM, Seattle Seahawks, read the book himself and passed copies to staff and players. He's spoken about its influence on personal and coaching philosophy. Players, Gareth Gilkey, NFL offensive lineman, I forgot the correct, listed as one of the athletes who read this book. Others in the NFL community, coaches and staff across multiple teams have reinforced Holiday's stoicism approach as a useful for dealing with setbacks, pressure, which we talked about in the podcast. Pressure already have a whole podcast on it. If you want to get into it on the grind of the season. Pressure is number 26. Probably won't do that again, going back to too much, but just want to reiterate that. Why it's popular in the NFL, the book's Stoic philosophy appeals to football professionals because it focuses on staying calm under pressure, turning adversity into advantage, controlling attitude and effort rather than outcomes. These themes resonate in a sport where failure and obstacle are constant. We're already on 15 minutes, so... And you can apply this to be a lot of rugby union and rugby on the podcast. You can apply this to rugby as well and other sports. And this book, or about this board, around Stoic philosophy and principles, especially the obstacle is the way. Sec. 11 minutes in. How do we get this under 15 minutes? Haven't got the feedback yet to keep it on. No, so we'll talk about it. So what about business and the obstacle is the way? The obstacle is the way in business. Ryan Holiday's book has been hugely influential in the business world, especially among entrepreneurs, executives, and corporate leaders. Its Stoic principles resonate because business, like life, throws constant setbacks, competition, and uncertainty at you. Why it resonates in business: number one, reframing challenges as opportunities. Obstacles aren't just problems, they can be advantages if approached strategically. Example, a supply chain disruption can force innovation and efficiency improvements. Number two, focus on what you can control. In volatile markets, you can't control everything. The key is disciplined execution on controllable elements. Number three, persistence and discipline under pressure. Many business leaders face repeated failures. The book teaches endurance and resilience. Number four, decision making with a calm mindset. Stoic philosophy encourages removing emotional reactions and acting rationally even in crisis. Business leaders influenced by the book, Tim Ferriss, entrepreneur, author, and investor, praises this as a must-read for navigating. It is a must-read for navigating challenges. LinkedIn executives, Ryan Holiday's ideas have been used in leadership, team-building programs. Entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley frequently cited in startup culture as a mental framework for dealing with setbacks. Netflix and corporate executives, Holiday's principles are sometimes shared in internal leadership resources for developing resilient teams. Practical applications in business. We're 13 minutes in, we're still good. Number one, morning reflection. Review challenges you face and reframe them as growth opportunities. Number two, daily micro actions. Break big obstacles into smallest action steps. Number three, post-mortems. After failure, analyze controllable versus uncontrollable factors without judgment. Number four, culture building. Encourage teams to see setbacks as learning moments, not just failures. We'll get to the one thing in a sec. Maybe a personal antidote, we'll wait and see. Just one thing. I suppose the one central idea in the book, and you can read it yourself, I don't know if I'll leave a link to it, but it's called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, that perception shapes reality. Holiday emphasizes that the way we see and interpret obstacles determine how they affect us. A challenge is not inherently a problem, it only becomes a problem only if we let fear, frustration, or negativity control our perception. By reframing the obstacle as opportunities, we can act strategically, grow stronger, and turn setbacks into advantages. In short, it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it, which is super interesting and very empowering. And I think I'll leave it on there. I don't know if I had a personal experience, but I think I'll just leave it on there. One last time. It's, in short, perception shapes reality. It's not what, which is quotations, and then it says, in short, it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. Thanks for listening.